Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today also we will learn English first paper, that is Total English. Okay, and Total English chapter 11. Okay, so I hope you have completed the comprehension passage of chapter 10. And yesterday I gave you the formal and informal letters. So I told you after watching the video, you have to write the formal and informal letter from practice paper 10. I hope you have written. Okay. And today I'll take chapter 11. Okay. So that is uh, transformation of sentences part 2. So so in the uh, 10th chapter I told you transformation means changing, and the grammatical order will be changed, okay, but the meaning will not be changed. So the second chapter or the 11th chapter is also transformation of sentences. Here that means we have to, or we can convert simple sentence to compound sentence, or compound sentence to simple sentence, or simple sentence to complex sentence, or complex sentence to simple or compound sentence, like that. Okay, so how to change the sentences. So before that we will learn, or you might have learned, but we'll just okay see what are the three types of sentence. Okay, so the three types of sentence: simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. These are the three kinds of sentence. Okay, so now in order to change a simple sentence to compound sentence, and a compound sentence to simple sentence, or from compound sentence to complex sentence, you should know, okay, what is a simple sentence, and what is a complex sentence, and what is a compound sentence. Okay, so now look, okay, onto the screen. I have given here three sentences. Okay, he goes. Now see, the first sentence, he goes, that sentence is a complete sentence, and the meaning is also complete. Okay, the meaning is also complete. He goes, maybe he goes every day to office. Okay, um, or he goes home every day, like that. He goes, the meaning is complete, and there is only one clause. And what clause is that? It is the main clause. So this, the first sentence, he goes, it has only one clause, and that is a main clause, or we can say principal clause. Okay, so what are the two types of clause? Principal clause and subordinate clause, or we can say main clause and subordinate clause. So a main clause does not depend on another clause to complete its meaning. Okay, so a main clause or principal clause can stand alone without depending on the next or another clause. So here this sentence, he goes, the see, there is only one clause, and that is main clause, and the meaning is complete. Okay, so that is a simple sentence. So in a simple sentence there will be only one clause, and that clause will be a main clause. Okay, so there will be only one clause, and that is the main clause. He goes. So this sentence is a simple sentence. That means now I hope you understood. A simple sentence will have only one clause, and that clause is a or that clause will be a main clause. And with that itself, with that clause itself, the meaning is complete. Okay. Now see the second sentence. He goes when I come. Okay, so I have put a slash there. He goes when I come, so that okay, you will be able to okay divide the sentence. Okay, now he goes. There is a slash. That means that is one clause. He goes when I come. Another clause. Okay, now there are two clauses in this sentence. He goes when I come. Okay, so the first part, that is the first clause, he goes. Of course, that is a main clause because the meaning is complete. He goes, the meaning is complete. It does not need to depend on the next clause for or to complete its meaning. Okay, so he goes, that is a main clause. See the next clause, when I come. See, if you say that clause alone, for example, when I come, you yourself will feel that something is or something should be there to complete. Okay, so if only this clause comes, it will be complete. When I come, he goes, or he goes when I come. Okay, so he goes when I come. So when I come is the subordinate clause. Okay, and he goes is the main clause. So when I come, if you say that alone, when I come, the meaning is not complete. We feel that something should be there to complete its meaning. So when I come, he goes, or he goes when I come. Okay, so when I come is the subordinate clause and he goes is the main clause. So there in this sentence, that is the second sentence, there are two clauses, one main clause and the second one is the subordinate clause. So there is a mixture of both main clause and subordinate clause. Okay, so this sentence is a complex sentence. Okay, so what kind of a sentence is that? That sentence is a complex sentence. Now see the next third sentence. Okay, he goes and I come. He goes and I come. Okay, now you can differentiate the clause, divide the clause. How can you divide the sentence into two clauses? Okay, two clauses are there. He goes, okay, I come, and they are joined with a conjunction and. Okay, so he goes, one clause, I come. And what about these clauses? He goes, that is a main clause. I come, that is also a main clause. See, if I say I come, the meaning is complete. He goes, the meaning is complete. This clause does not need to depend on the next clause to complete its meaning. So both are main clauses. In the third sentence, there are two clauses and both clauses are principal clauses, or we can say main clauses, or okay, principal clauses. So such a sentence, in a sentence which has two or more main clause, such a sentence is called a compound sentence. Such a sentence is called a compound sentence. I hope you understood. So see, first of all, you should understand what is simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. Then only you will be able to change it. Okay, so now see that first sentence, it's a simple sentence. Only one clause is there and that is the main clause. With that, the sentence is complete and the meaning is also complete. The second sentence, two clauses are there. The first one is a main clause, second one the subordinate clause. So that sentence became a complex sentence because there is one main clause and one subordinate clause. Okay, third, he goes and I come. So two clauses are there. He goes, the meaning is complete. I come, there also the meaning is okay, complete. So there are two main clauses. So if there are more than two or more than two main clauses, such a sentence is called a compound sentence. I hope you understood. Okay. Now we can see the examples in the textbook. Okay. That is, we have to change the compound sentence to a simple sentence. So that is the next part. Okay. So the conversion of compound sentence to simple sentences. Conversion of compound sentence to simple sentence. Now we understood that compound sentence, there should be, yeah, more than two or more, okay, main clauses will be there. So those two main clauses, okay, and then we have to make it a simple sentence, making that as one main clause. So okay, so when you say read that sentence, the first one, we must eat or we cannot live. See that, we must eat. Okay, that is a main clause or a principal clause. We must eat. This the meaning is complete. Or is a conjunction. We cannot live. Okay, we cannot live. That is also the main clause. Okay. Now there are two finite verbs. Okay, in the first clause, the main principal clause, we must eat. Okay, there is a finite verb. And the second clause, we cannot live. Live is a finite verb. Finite verb. So these two clauses are main clauses, and so that sentence is a compound sentence. And now, okay, we have to make it a simple sentence. That means only there should be one clause, and that clause should be a main clause. Okay, a main clause. See, we must eat to live. Now sometimes you will be confused. Okay, live. Okay, teacher told in the first sentence live is a verb, and now what happened here? Second sentence. Okay, we must eat. Eat is the finite verb. Now to live, that is the infinitive. Okay, so it looks like a verb, but it is not the finite verb. Not the finite verb. The main verb is eat. So we must eat to live. To live is a infinitive. Okay, or non-finite verb. Okay, and so there is only one finite verb, and it became a main clause. Okay, and there is only one clause. We have made we must eat to live, so it became a simple sentence. And say the second one, he was a small boy, but he fought the giant. Okay, now can you or can you divide the sentence and tell me which are the clauses? Look at the sentence and tell me which are the clauses. Okay, divide where it is necessary. Yes, he was a small boy. Okay, he fought the giant. So in the first clause there is a verb was, and second clause fought. Okay, so see how it is. So the two clauses are there. Two are main clauses. He was a small boy. He fought the giant. Two main clauses are there, or two principal clauses are there. So that sentence became a compound sentence. That is a compound sentence. Now, making it as a symbol. So when you see, when you make it a simple sentence, there should be only one finite verb. Okay, see how it is changed or how it is converted into a simple sentence. In spite of being a small boy, he fought the giant. See, there's only one finite verb, which is that finite verb fought. Okay, that's the main verb there. So in spite of being a small boy, he fought the giant. Now coming to the third sentence, the students finished their games and entered the classroom. Okay, it's very easy to differentiate the clauses. The students finished their games. The sentence, see, that clause is complete. The meaning is also complete. The students finished their games. No, then what else? Nobody will ask. Okay, so the meaning is complete. Then, and, that is a conjunction. They entered the classroom. Okay, they entered the classroom. Subject, it is understood. Okay, that's why I said they entered, and they entered the classroom. So again, entered the classroom. That's another clause, and that is also a principal clause. The students finished their games, they entered the classroom. Okay, so there are two main clauses, and the sentence is a compound sentence, and we have to make it a simple sentence. Having finished their games, the students entered the classroom. Again, don't be confused. Having finished, okay, having is the participle. Okay, having, so we can or okay, when you join the two sentences, pairs of sentence also, you can do like that, joining the sentence with the participle. Okay, so having finished, so that is not, they are non-finite verbs. Now the main verb, which is the main verb, which is the finite verb here, the students entered the classroom. Entered. Okay, so having finished their games, the students entered the classroom. Okay, now he must not be late or he will be punished. Again, he must not be late, one clause. He will be punished, another clause. Both are principal clauses. Now we have to make it in a okay, make it into a simple sentence. Okay, so that is a compound sentence, and we have, how we'll make it a simple sentence. Okay, you have to, okay, supply the verb, that is only one finite verb should be there. Okay, only one finite verb should be there. Okay, now see, in the event of his being late, in the event of his being late, he will be punished. In the event of his being late, he will be punished. So in the event of being late, there's only, okay, will be, yes, punished. So only one finite verb. Okay, so that became a simple sentence. Okay, now next is conversion of simple sentence to compound sentence. Okay, so first we studied compound sentence to simple sentence. That means there will be two main clause and we had made it as one main clause. Now simple sentence, only one main clause will be there and we have to make it as two main clauses. Then only it will become the compound sentence. See, the teacher punished the boy for his disobedience. So only one finite verb is there. Which is that finite verb? Punished. The teacher punished the boy for his disobedience. So that is the simple sentence. So only one clause and that is the main clause. And so that sentence became a simple sentence. Now, how that sentence is changed into compound? The boy was disobedient. Okay, the boy was disobedient. Was one word. Okay, so one clause, the boy was disobedient. Main clause. The teacher punished him, another clause, and that is also a main clause or principal clause. So that sentence became a compound sentence. Okay. Now the next, again symbol to compound. Besides robbing him, they murdered him. Besides robbing him, they murdered him. Murdered, the finite verb. Okay. And then that sentence is changed into compound. That means there should be two principal clauses. See how they not only robbed him. They not only robbed him, they also murdered him. So another clause. They also murdered him. That both are joined by but. Okay. They not only robbed him, then they also murdered him. Okay. Now third one, he must confess his fault to escape punishment. He must confess his fault to escape punishment. Okay. So that is a simple sentence and only one main clause. That is the finite verb is confess. Okay, to escape, that is infinitive. Okay, so he must confess his fault to escape punishment. So how can we make it as a compound sentence? That means there should be two main clauses. See, he must confess his fault. See, he must confess. So that confess became a finite verb here. He must confess. So when we supplied that verb, he must confess his fault and then he will be punished. Okay, so both are main clauses. So the sentence became a compound sentence. So this is the way we have to change the sentence. Okay. Okay, next, the conversion of simple sentence to complex sentence. I told you before, complex sentence means there should be both a main clause and a subordinate clause. So the simple sentence only one clause and that is main clause, and we have to make it a make that main clause as two clauses, one main and one subordinate. Then only the sentence will become complex. See, his silence proves his guilt. His silence proves his guilt. That is simple sentence because there's only one clause and that is the main clause. The fact that he is silent proves his guilt. See, the fact that he is silent proves his guilt. So that became a complex. The fact that he is silent, okay, that is subordinate clause. The fact that he is silent is not complete. That okay, the fact that he is silent, you will see something is awkward. The meaning is not complete. Then he proves his guilt. Proves his okay guilt. So that is a main clause. So both join, okay, and so that sentence becomes a complex sentence. Now, second one, in spite of his wealth, he is not happy. In spite of his wealth, he is not happy. He is not happy. That's a simple sentence because only one main clause. However wealthy he may be. See, however wealthy he may be. That part, however wealthy he may be, that part is the subordinate clause. He is not happy main clause, or we can say principal clause. So two clauses have come there. So the sentence became complex. Now, third one man's meat is another man's poison. One man's meat is another man's poison. Now, see how there are two clauses in the next sentence, the same meaning, okay? Only there is change in the, okay, grammar. What is one man's meat? What is one man's meat? What is one man's, wait, okay, what is one man's meat? It is another man's poison. Okay, so that is a complex sentence. Okay, now next, the last sentence in that, wait here till my arrival. That means you have to wait here. You wait here. The, okay, subject is understood. You wait here. So there's only, okay, there's only one finite verb, that's wait. Wait here till my arrival. Okay, so that is simple sentence. The next is wait here till I arrive. See, two finite verbs and two clause. Wait here, I arrive. Okay, till I arrive. So till I arrive. Wait here, that's the main clause. Till I arrive, the subordinate clause. If you take till I arrive, it cannot stand in its own. The meaning will not be complete. Okay, so that is a subordinate clause. Till I arrive. So one main clause and one subordinate clause makes a complex sentence. So that's why that sentence became a complex sentence. Okay. Now, I don't think we can finish everything in one period. I think we have to take one more period to complete this. Okay, because now itself it is 25 minutes. Okay, now conversion of complex sentence to simple sentence. Okay, so we have learned, okay, complex sentence, there will be one, okay, at least one main clause and one subordinate clause. Okay, and then that sentence should be changed into a simple sentence. That means only one main clause. Okay, see that. How long I shall stay is doubtful. How long I shall stay is, how long I shall stay, that is, it is doubtful. Okay, so two clauses and that is complex. The duration of my stay is doubtful. Okay, the duration of my stay is doubtful. So that became a simple one, that is with one main clause. Now to sentence 2, the moment which is lost forever. See, the moment which is lost, it is lost for her, the main clause, it is lost for her forever. First one, the moment which is lost, that is the subordinate clause. It is lost forever, that is main clause. Okay, so that became a complex sentence. And then how to make it simple? A lost moment is lost forever. See, only one finite verb is lost. Okay, it's present perfect, is it? A lost moment is last forever. Now third, we came upon a hut where a peasant lived. See, we came upon a hut. That is a main clause. We came upon a hut where a peasant lived. Okay, so if you take only that clause, where a peasant lived, what is it? It's not complete. The meaning is not complete. So we came upon a hut and then where a peasant lived. So one main clause, we came upon a hut, that is the main clause, where a peasant lived, subordinate clause. So that sentence is a complex sentence. Now, how to make that as a simple sentence? See that only one finite verb is there and one main clause. We came upon a peasant's hut. Okay. Now we came upon. See, came, one finite word. So we came upon a peasant's hut. So it became a simple sentence. Tell me what you require. Tell me what you require. So, can you differentiate between the clauses? Can you tell me? Okay, tell me. That is the main clause. What you require. What you require. That is a subordinate clause. So that sentence is a complex sentence. See, next, how it is changed into a simple sentence. Tell me your requirement. Tell me your requirement. So only one finite verb is there. Okay. So that became a simple sentence. See, only one verb, tell. Okay. But here, two verbs, two finite verbs, tell and require. Okay. So that is changed into simple sentence. Tell me your requirement. Okay. Okay, children. You just go through the sample sentences from Total English. Okay. So from exercise E onwards. Okay, not E. It's conversion of compound sentence to complex sentence. Okay, from that I'll take in the next class. Okay. So whatever, okay, passage, that is the grammar part that we have taken, please read and go through the sentence. Now today, if you read the sample sentences, you will understand what is the simple sentence and what is a compound and what is a complex sentence. These three sentences you have to understand, then only you will be able to change. And if you don't go through the text today, you will forget. And that's why children, okay, whatever you learn in the smaller classes, you're forgetting because nobody's practicing. Nobody opens the book only during the or just before the exam. Oh, English first paper, nothing to study. Who said nothing to study? You have to be thorough of the grammar. Otherwise, every year you're learning, every year you're forgetting. Okay, so uh, open your book, Total English book, and okay, I have taught you up to conversion of complex sentence to simple sentence. Up to that, go through each sentence and try to understand it. Okay, the rest I'll take in the next class. Okay, children. Okay, then.